Hello, Flames fans. A quick update. It looks like the tarp is being taken off the pitcher's mound after a delay of close to 35 minutes here, but it looks like play is finally going to resume in the bottom of the sixth, and we'll come back when everyone's back on the field and the batter is set in the box, and we are ready to continue.
Hello and welcome back to the Onondaga Flames Team Line live stream. I'm Morgan Chapman for my bottom of the sixth solo inning here, and we get play resumed here at OCC after a short rain delay. Jimmy Flahive is going to be on the mound. Looks like Jimmy Flahive's mother came up to say hello to us, and look at that. He gets to come into the game and relieve Mike Netzel, who did a fantastic job this afternoon getting things started for the Flames. So he went 5 complete innings, Mike Netzel did. But so Flahive coming on the mound. Chris Coates will lead things off here for the Saltcats in the bottom of the sixth inning as the throwdown is complete, and we're about ready here to get underway after about a 45-minute delay from rain. But hopefully Mother Nature has decided to hold off for the rest of this ball game so we can finish it up here at OCC Stadium. If you were with us earlier, nothing has changed. The score is still 1-1 here. Both runs coming in the third inning. As Adam Gordon had the RBI single back in the third that scored Trace Peterson for the Flames. And Chris Coates coming up here, his second at-bat of the ball game. 0 for 1 thus far, and Flahive gets his feet set, and we'll see if we can resume play. Looks like we will. Here's the first pitch from Flahive. High and outside for ball one. Has a 1.22 ERA coming into this ball game. The 1-0. Surratt catches it just outside. Count goes to 2-0 on Flahive. Flahive, this guy, when he is dialed in, he can strike out the side up and down multiple times. There's a strike from Flahive, but he is really good at collecting strikeouts, and he's just on the mound. When I interviewed him the one time, he talked about his competitive edge that he has in the mound. 2-1 in there for strike two. Count goes to 2-2 on Chris Coates for the Saltcats. But Flahive, a very competitive guy out of AIC. We'll see if he can continue to have some success on the mound. The 2-2 chopped down. This is Brian Hart charging up to it. Easy pickings there. So 4-3 to start things off here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Could bring you back to the top of the lineup here. Michael Ray, the shortstop, is going to come back up here. Michael Ray will be able to, he's the shortstop on the evening. He's 0 for 2 on the evening so far, so we'll see if Michael Ray. So Michael Ray continuing his approach at the plate. This one in there for strike one on Michael Ray. Jimmy Flahive going right back to work. So Michael Ray digging into the left batter's box. This one in there, missing low for a ball. Count goes to even. 1 ball and 1 strike to be exact on Michael Ray. 0 for 2. Grounded one to Brian Hart the last time he was at the plate and was a strikeout victim to Mike Netzel. This one chopped down the left field line, foul, and the count goes to 1-2 on Michael Ray. But either way, play has resumed after the brief rain delay. Michael Ray takes his time, getting himself set. Jimmy Flahive looks to continue some work. This one chopped foul. Count will stay at 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 down here in the bottom of the sixth. Waiting on deck is Alexander Ferlenda for the Saltcats. This one chopped, looks like O'Connor with a diving play, throws the first way right of Trace Peterson. Made a fantastic effort. Michael Ray's going to stay at first base and get on with the errant throw. So it's going to be good for a base knock. So a single for Michael Ray. Alexander Ferlenda is coming up next, but O'Connor with a heck of an effort, diving on the turf, sliding to get that ball, just got a little ahead of himself there and overthrew Trace Peterson at first. So base runners on here with 1 down. Alex Ferlenda, who's 0 for 2 on the evening so far, was a strikeout victim his first plate appearance and popped one up to Jared Groskuth last time he was at the plate. The first pitch misses outside for ball 1. So 1-0 is the count with 1 down. Flahive gets a sign from Surratt as Ferlenda gets some instructions from his head coach in the third base coaching box. Decent sized lead and for Michael Ray, and that's exactly why he's checked back at first base. So Jimmy Flahive getting another sign from Zarat. Flahive's going to step off the bag, then reset himself. I mean, those guys do a heck of a job taking care of that mound out there. I mean, within seconds, they're able to brush it all off as Ferlunda squares the bunt. It's going to go foul. Count evens up at a ball and a strike. But those guys, the crew we have here, I guess you could say, the Onondaga Flames pitching staff, they go out on the mound. They take care of the mound night in and night out. So do the Syracuse Saltcats pitchers. And that's exactly why we can continue to play ball here at Onondaga Community College. If you're just joining us, I'm Morgan Chapman to bring you the bottom of the sixth inning. Score is still 1-1 here. After the third inning was the only scoring inning, as Flahive checks back to first base, not in time. Jimmy Flahive, left-hander, side armor out of American International College. 1-1. In there for ball 2. Count goes to 2-1. Flahive out of Longmeadow, Massachusetts. Had a really good season with the Yellow Jackets at AIC. Count now goes to 3-1 on Flahive, but 4.45 ERA, 30 innings pitched, 42 hits, but 13 strikeouts. This one missing high. He's going to walk the batter, so Ferlunda reaches on a walk. First walk surrendered by Flahive, bringing up Sean Lawler. Lawler's one of the more consistent batters. So Sean Lawler coming up to bat here. He's, again, batting .383 coming into this ball game, and he really has his most consistent ball games against the Flames. He's 18 for 47 at the plate coming into the ball game, but he's over 2 on the night so far. Last appearance, grounded one to Brian Hart at second base for the putout. Flahive checking on Ray. Here's the first pitch to Sean Lawler. It's in there for strike 1. So first pitch strike for Flahive, and Lawler's going to take some time to readjust himself. Flahive gets the sign from Zarat, checking on Michael Ray at second. Here's the 1-1. Cut on and missed. Big cut taken there by Sean Lawler, and now quickly an 0-2 count. So an 0-2 count here on Sean Lawler. The most consistent batter for the Saltcats all season long so far, and trying to get his first hit of the ball game. Down 0-2 though to Jimmy Flahive. Flahive checking on Michael Ray. Here's the 0-2. Cut on, and Zarat unable to corral it. If he was, that would have been a strikeout, but unable to. Bounces off his glove, and will do the 0-2 once again. Runners on first and second with one away here in the bottom of the sixth. Saltcats trying to break this tie with a runner in scoring position. Michael Ray gets about a 3-step lead off of the second base bag, but no one's covering second. This one cut on and miss for the first strikeout victim for Jimmy Flahive. Huge cut there by Sean Lawler, just unable to get a piece of it, bringing up Drew Patterson, the center fielder. Patterson out of Greenville, Tennessee. 0 for 2 on the night, reached on an error. 0 for 1, reached on an error last time he was up. So runners on first and second with 2 away now. Flahive checking on Michael Ray at second base. Here's the first pitch for Patterson, in there for strike 1. Flahive checking on Michael Ray again. Coming set on the mound, getting a sign from Jake Zarat. The 0-1. Cut on back towards the screen, and quickly an 0-2 count, and Jimmy Flahive has really been a man on a mission on the mound ever since we came back from the rain delay, is going right to work against some of these batters. No balls, 2 strikes with 2 away. Runners on first and second. Michael Ray on second. Ferlunda on first. There it is. Missing just low with the fastball. Count goes to 1-2. Now for Fly High. Waiting on deck is Patrick Miner. If the Salt Cats can extend this inning. Fly Hive gets the sign from Zarat and comes set. The 1-2 as he looks off Michael Ray. Cut on and missed for the second strikeout victim. So Fly Hive's going to surrender one hit, but strand two Salt Cats on base. Brandon Ross will be taking over the play-by-play duties here on Team Line when we come back.
Top 7 here at OCC Stadium. Still a tie ball game 1-1. A new pitcher on the mound for the Syracuse Saltcats in Tommy Genuario. The final line score for Max Bain will be 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run earned, 4 walks, and 8 strikeouts. And the first batter that Genuario will face is Jake Zarat. The first pitch, a fastball, just gets the strike zone, and the count's 0-1 are early to Zarat. Genuario out of Rutgers University. You've seen some action against this Flames team before. A check swing ruled that he didn't go around. After consultation with the first base umpire, counts evened up at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 from Genuario. Cut on and missed. The high heat couldn't get caught up to by Jake Zarat. And now it's a 1-2 count.
Zarat has to be careful as he's struck out looking 2 times already in this ball game.
The 1-2 to Zarat. Fastball misses high, counts knotted up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Genuario, not the best season so far. ERA at 5.58. 3 appearances so far, 1 start in 9.2 innings of work. The 2-2 is cut on and missed. Zarat hacked at the high cheddar, and now 1 away here in the top of the 7th. And with 1 away, that brings up Trace Peterson, the 9-hitter. As Tommy Genuario picks up his first strikeout, Trace Peterson looking to get on base for the 3rd time today. 2 walks in 2 plate appearances so far. The first pitch, a fastball right over the plate for strike 1. Bain was unable to retire Peterson as he walked in both times. The 0-1, a fastball catches the outside corner. And now Trace Peterson in an 0-2 hole early in this at-bat. Still a 1-1 ball game in the top of the 7th, 1 away, an 0-2 count here to the 9-hitter Trace Peterson. The 0-2 is popped up behind home plate, foul out of the stadium, and the count's going to stay at 0-2.
And Brandon, it looks like Januario is pounding the strike zone here early on.
Pounding the strike zone, also moving rapidly as we saw with Mike Netzel on the mound when he was starting. The 0-2 gets grounded over to second. A sliding attempt by Ferlenda is no good, and it'll get through for a base hit. Peterson will round first and hold up, putting on the brakes. And it's a one-out single for Trace Peterson, and that'll bring up the top of the order and Jack Chernow. Chernow still looking for his first hit of the ball game, 0 for 1, but has reached twice on a pair of walks so far. And Peterson has already advanced twice on wild pitches tonight, so if anything happens around home plate, he's certain to advance. He's not necessarily the fastest guy, but he's the guy who's shown a lot of base path awareness. And even when you're not fast, having that sense of awareness and keen ability is very crucial for a baseball player. First pitch to Jack Chernow is a fastball, catches the outside corner, and he's behind in the count 0-1. Michael DeFusco at third base, playing in, toes on the infield grass, anticipating a possible bunt from Chernow. We've seen him do this before. The 0-1 to Chernow. Chopped on the ground towards the right side, fielded by Lawler. Throw over to second for 1. No throw over to first, so it'll be a 3-6 fielder's choice, and there's now 2 away with a runner on first. Still a 1-1 ball game, and Adam Gordon up with 2 away. Gordon so far 1 for 3, a single back in the third, but otherwise a ground out to first and grounded into a double play back in the first. Gordon, the lefty, against the right-handed Januario. Chernow takes a lead. An aggressive base runner Chernow is. A lot of stolen bases on the season. First pitch is in the dirt. Chernow takes advantage, goes for second. The throw down is not in time. Chernow almost slipped off the bag thanks to the slippery slope. We saw McLean O'Connor slide over the bag when he got in safely in the first inning, but instead he got called out. But Chernow able to maintain a grip on the bag, and so now he's safe, and there's a runner in scoring position with 2 away for the Flames.
Chernow just has really high baseball IQ. He knows when to run, when to steal, when to swing the bat, and he's been very consistent for this team all season.
Michael Ray guarding closely over at second base. Alex Ferlenda over at second base playing deep into the outfield. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball missing outside. Adam Gordon with a better hitter's count here, 2-0. Gordon in a prime position to blow this ball game open. A tie 1-1 ball game, 2 away, a runner on second base. And Gordon with a hitter's count, 2-0. Januario looks back, the 2-0. Cut on and miss. It's actually going to get fouled off the plate. And now the count's 2-1.
And if Adam Gordon can just get a single here, Jack Chernow should score because he's one of the faster guys on this team.
Jack Chernow very fast, 4 for 4 on stolen bases so far this season. We saw on that ball that was muffed by Ners behind the plate. It didn't get that far away, but Chernow still able to recognize the dirt ball and advance to second without really too much hassle. Ray checks second base, the 2-1. Driving down the right field line, but foul. Down landing about 5 feet right of the foul line, just past the first base bag. Counts even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now talk about 2s all around and everything but the score column. It's the top of the 7th, 1-1 ball game, but 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs, and a runner on second base.
Whole lot of 2s.
And, of course, we're forgetting number 22 in the batter's box. Januario looks back. Michael Ray covers the 2-2. Gets popped into shallow right field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Chernow's rounding third, and it's bobbled in right field. Gordon's going to come to second as Chernow scores the run to take a 2-1 lead. Chernow able to take advantage of the bloop single by Adam Gordon, and a little mistake there in right field by Chris Coates allows for a 2-1 lead, and now a runner in scoring position again for the Flames.
And Brandon, you talked about Chris Coates' batting average being so low, and then when you make the mistakes out in the field, you have to think your coach has a short leash with you.
Absolutely. That'll get ruled a single and an E9 on that base hit by Adam Gordon. Now Mike Netzel with a chance to break out of this rut. 0 for his last 9 at-bats. First pitch to Netzel is a fastball, just catches the top third. and an 0-1 count here early on. And Gordon, as we mentioned, another big base threat. Definitely not credit for as many stolen bases as he has. Very able and willing to move. The 0-1 pitch misses outside. Fastball can't quite find the plate, and it's a 1-1 count. Netzel shifted towards the back of the batter's box, allowing more time. Usually a good strategy along with choking up for making contact. That pitch is ripped down the line, but foul over towards the third base bag. Very close to what could have been an extra base hit. What likely would have been at least a double, possibly a triple on that play. As over in left field, Taylor Fajardo is playing very close to left center, not close to the line at all. That would have been dangerous as foul territory at OCC Stadium goes quite a distance.
Especially with Fajardo, it doesn't even change where he was. He just stays in the same spot. So if he can get another one down the left field line, it's the ideal situation.
1-2, a breaking ball misses in the opposing batting box. And the count's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And with Fajardo's positioning and Patterson out in center field, a massive gap in left center field. The righty Netzel could very well take advantage of it. He already has a few extra base hits on the season. Januario from the stretch looks back to second, the 2-2. Fastball just misses high, and now a full count here to Mike Netzel with 2 out. Runner on second, the Flames now with a 2-1 lead. Gordon takes his lead. Michael Ray playing him close to the bag, the payoff. Driven down the right field line, but foul over towards the trees outside the stadium. So the count's going to stay full at 3-2, and this will be the 7th pitch of this at-bat.
Mike Netzel, he might be 0 for his last whatever, but he's still able to be consistent at the plate and have patience and fight off pitches when he knows he could be a strikeout victim.
The first game of that little 3-game hitting rut that he's in the middle of right now, he had a lot of hard outs, a lot of deep fly balls, line outs right to fielders in the infield. But here he's just not having good luck. A pair of strikeouts and a slow grounder over to first base. The 3-2. Fastball misses high, ball 4, so Netzel finally able to make it on base today, and now runners on first and second with 2 away for A.J. DiFilippo, and if you want to really burst this game open, there's no one else you'd rather have up to the batter's box. 16 RBIs for DiFilippo on the season, leads the team, and very clutch with runners in scoring position. Januario looks back to second base, and he steps off, and the runners retreat. So it's Mike Netzel on first base, Adam Gordon on second, 2 away, a 2-1 ball game in the top of the 7th. Flames have a 1-run lead now, and a chance to blow it up even more here with a runner in scoring position. The first pitch to DiFilippo is in the dirt, and a 1-0 count here early on. DiFilippo, a lefty hitter against the righty Januario, outfield shifted, and a wide open gap as always in left center field to take advantage of. 1-0. Fastball misses high and outside, and now a real hitter's count here. Januario working himself into a jam as it's now 2-0.
And all he has to do is focus on the batter. He just needs one more out, so starting to lose a grip on the fastball just a little bit here.
Michael Ray again playing Adam Gordon close to the bag at second, the 2-0. Ripped down the right field line, but foul. Another hard liner that just needed to be straightened out if it wanted to be effective. So now a 2-1 count here to DiFilippo. And Januario has been a victim of a lot of hard and easy contact. He's been very easy to hit this inning. Any pitch that's been over the zone has been very easy to make contact with. And he's not having a good job painting the corners so far. Every effort he's making is either he's losing his grip and it goes in the dirt, or it just misses outside or inside. He can't really seem to find his groove in his first inning of work. The 2-1, fouled off the plate and back towards the catcher under the home plate umpire. And now the count's evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Januario now in a better pitcher's count here as he now has a ball to work with. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 count here to A.J. DiFilippo. Flames with a 2-1 lead. The pitch. Cut on and missed. He pulled the string on DiFilippo and got him out in front with a breaking ball, and that will retire the side. The Flames able to put up a run and take the lead in the top half of the inning, and now heading into bottom 7, the Flames now have a 2-1 lead. Now in the bottom of the 7th inning, Flames able to put up a run in the top half of the inning, now maintaining a 1-run lead, as now coming up for the Saltcats, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, starting with Patrick Miner, who is currently 1 for 2 on the day, and we're noticing right now just in front of us in the stands, Wayne Walker chatting up my parents, our great owner, is being the great owner he is. Flahive still on the mound. The first pitch to Miner is a fastball missing high, count 1-0.
Brandon, if you want to hear a story, you go to Wayne Walker, and he'll tell you all kinds of different stories throughout his life.
The 1-0. Fastball just catches the outside corner. Miner didn't like that call, but he'll suck it up, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. Rain seems to have stopped around here as the 1-1 pitch is fouled down the right field line. Sky high, just barely over the Flames bullpen. And now Miner behind in the count 1-2. Flahive working fast here. The 1-2 is chopped on the ground past Flahive, fielded near the bag at second by Hart. He shoots it over to first for the first out of the inning. So a quick 4-3 put out to start this one, and that brings up Taylor Fajardo, the left fielder, who is still looking for his own stroke of luck tonight. 0 for 2 so far. A strikeout looking and a fly out to right field.
And Fajardo, you can always expect him with big cuts at the plate.
Fajardo always given that extra effort, even if it hurts him. He always tries to do too much with pitches that aren't really worth giving much effort to. The first pitch to Fajardo is a breaking pitch that just catches the outside corner, and he's behind in the count 0-1. The 0-1. Fastball misses outside, counts even up at a ball and a strike. Flahive, known for his control as a sidearm pitcher, 1 of 4 on this Flames roster, and he's been among the most successful, entering today ERA just a hair above 1. The 1-1 pitch misses inside, and the count's 2 balls and a strike.
I think I've seen Flahive throw one bad pitch all summer, and it was to Wellsville. It was gone for the home run. But other than that, he's been very consistent.
The 2-1 pitch is fouled back towards the netting behind home plate, and a bad hitter's count here as it's now 2-2, Flahive with a ball to work with on the mound. And interesting about after that Wellsville game, Flahive allowed that home run, only the second run he's allowed all season, and he was talking to me after the game, the 2-2 pitch, fastball misses outside, counts now full to Taylor Fajardo. He was telling me that he'd been working with his coaches back at American International College and his coaches here, that he needs to trust all of his pitches all the time. The 3-2 is caught and missed. He trusted his pitches there and set Taylor Fajardo down for the second out of the inning. And that's a big note that Flahi's been taking so far. He has to touch all his pitches all the time. If he thinks one of his pitches might be off, he can't be afraid to throw it. It's all mentality. As Yogi Berra once said, the game is 90% mental, the other half is physical. The first pitch to the catcher, Matthew Ners, is called outside for a ball, 1-0. So with Fajardo strikeout, that's 3 on the afternoon for Jimmy Flahive. And the 1-0 pitch misses outside again, count 2-0. Flahive again working fast here. The 2-0 pitch misses high and outside, now really behind in the count. It's 3-0. Flahive again working really fast here. No time between pitches to catch our breaths. And it's a strike, and the count's 3-1. Middle infield playing deep here. Corner infielder's back. The 3-1 misses outside for ball 4, and so the Saltcats get a 2-out base runner here. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Michael DeFusco, who is currently 0 for 1 on the night. He has a walk to his name, but also a strikeout, and after he walked, he got picked off back in the 3rd inning. It was one of 2 pickoff moves that proved successful for Mike Netzel during his time on the mound today.
Yeah, he has some really fantastic pickoff moves, and so does Jimmy Flahive. Since he's the left-handed pitcher, I mean, he's able to really sneak around. We saw that a couple of times when there was runners on 1st and 3rd. He was able to use that pickoff move, the fake the 3rd, and then back to 1st to get someone in the jam.
3rd to 1st is a big pickoff move. It's actually illegal in a lot of high school leagues. I can attest for myself. It was illegal in our league, and every time a pitcher tried a 3rd to 1st, it was called for a balk. First pitch from Flahive misses inside on the fastball. And a 1-0 count to a pinch hitter, actually, for the Syracuse Saltcats. We were not able to see his number coming up to the batter's box. It's actually going to be Christian Nakari batting for the Saltcats. My apologies. The 1-0 to Nakari misses low, and a 2-0 count here. Nakari normally plays 3rd base, substituting in for Michael DeFusco, so I wouldn't anticipate him coming in the field. As the 2-0 pitch catches the inside 3rd, and the count's 2-1. Nakari so far this season, 250 heading into today's contest. 2-1 misses inside, now 3 balls and a strike to the 3rd baseman, Nakari. Nakari out of Nichols College. So far played in 17 of this team's games. Pair of extra base hits to his name, as the pickoff attempt is no good. Not a ton of RBIs, only 6 so far this season, but the runner's on 1st. Anything can happen in a situation like this. Flames with a 2-1 lead, 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. A 3-1 pitch to Nakari is driven deep into left center field. Cherno and DiFilippo both giving chase, but Cherno able to make the catch on the warning track, and Nakari wishes he hit the weight room a little more there. And no runs, no hits, 1 man left on base at the end of 7 innings of play. The Flames lead 2-1 here on Team Line. Top of the 8th inning here at OCC Stadium. Flames able to maintain a 2-1 lead, and another new pitcher on the mound for the Syracuse Sulcats. It's Zach Kemp. He's seen plenty of action against this team. He had one outing where he didn't do too well, and another outing where he performed pretty solid last Sunday, and he was able to propel the Sulcats to the win, breaking the Flames' 4-game winning streak. As it'll be Brian Hart to lead off here for the Flames in the top half of the 8th. First pitch, he shows bunt but pulls back as the fastball misses outside. And after Christian Nakari came in for Michael DeFusco to hit last inning, he will replace straight defensively out at third base. The 1-0, cut on and missed. Right back into the mitt of Matthew Ners. Counts 1-1 here to Brian Hart. Hart just bad luck today, as the 1-1 pitch is called a strike on the outside corner. 1-2 is the count. Brian Hart, a pair of swinging strikeouts, and then the batter's interference call that drew a lot of controversy back in the 6th. It's one of the last things we saw before the lengthened rain delay, and a check swing by home plate umpire rules Hart went around, and he'll be retired on the swinging strikeout for the first out of the 8th. And a quick strikeout for Kemp on the mound sets the first runner aside, and now Jarek Grosguth up for the Onondaga Flames. Actually, my apologies. Apparently I can't see today, as there is a pinch hitter, and Nick Garcia will come in, and that's a cold strike, the first pitch. Garcia is seeing progressively less time in the batter's box as the staff looks to implement him more as a pitcher. In relief situations, that pitch misses low, counts 1-1. Garcia, the lefty against the right-handed Kemp. The 1-1 pitch is driven back up the middle, drops for a base hit. So a one-out single here for Nick Garcia. Gets a runner on for the Flames, and that'll bring up McLean O'Connor. O'Connor, decent debut so far, 1 for 3. A ground out, a looking strikeout, and a single. Back in the third, unfortunately got caught stealing after he didn't anticipate how wet the field was thanks to the earlier rain, and he ended up sliding over the bag at second base. But now a chance to inflict some more damage as the Flames have a 2-1 lead in the top of the 8th. One away and a runner on first. Third baseman Christian Nakari playing close to the infield grass. The first pitch is a breaking pitch that is able to catch the outside corner for strike 1. Garcia takes a very short lead off of first base, but it's going slightly by the moment. The 0-1 pitch misses low, and even 1-1 count here to McLean O'Connor. Interesting enough, we mentioned that McLean O'Connor was a firefighter last summer. He wanted to do it again this summer, but his coach said if he wanted to start, he had to come play summer ball. And when he was a firefighter, as the pickoff attempt over to first is not in time, Garcia barely able to get back there safely. O'Connor was actually, he worked with helicopters as a firefighter. He had to survey the areas for where helicopters would drop equipment. So it's not necessarily the safest job that O'Connor had, as that pitch gets driven into right center field. Giving chase to that one is Chris Coates, and a sliding attempt, and he makes the catch. An incredible sliding catch in right by Chris Coates, and the throw back to first gets Garcia trying to get back. And a quick double play there for the Sulcats. An incredible defensive effort in right field from Chris Coates. Just another defensive play he's made against this Flames team. No runs, 1 hit, no one left on base at the end of 7.5 innings of play. The Flames still have a 2-1 lead. Back here in the bottom of the 8th, Flames still have a 2-1 lead. A stellar defensive catch by Chris Coates ended the last inning. And a pinch hitter here for the Sulcats to start off, as it's Christian Anderson leading all for this team. And as he comes in to pinch hit, a couple defensive replacements for the Onondaga Flames. As Nick Garcia came in to pinch hit for Jared Grosguth last inning, Colin Matthews comes into the game and moves to left field. And A.J. DeFilippo, who was in left field, moves in to occupy third base. A bunt attempt by Anderson goes off his leg while he was still in the batter's box, so that's ruled a foul ball. And an 0-1 count here to Anderson. Meanwhile, Flahive out for his third inning of work. He's been stellar so far, only allowing one hit in his 2 innings. He's been able to handle 2 runners on with 1 away, and able to get out of it, and also work the 7th inning pretty quickly. The 0-1 pitch, a fastball, just catches the lower third, and he's ahead in the count 0-2 on the batter Anderson. Anderson out of Nichols College faces the 0-2 pitch. Fastball misses inside, and the count's 1-2. Chris Anderson so far on the season, 138 is his batting average, not the best. Has mostly come in relief situations for his team, as the 1-2 is a fastball that misses outside, and even 2-2 count here. Flahive on the mound working with a 2-1 lead, nobody out. Bottom of the 8th inning, the 2-2 pitch. Fastball misses high and outside, and coming from ahead 0-2, now works behind in the count. It's a full 3-2. No action in the Flames bullpen, so a lot of trust for Flahive to finish this, and the fastball's cut up and missed. Anderson couldn't lay off the high cheese, and it's 1 away here in the bottom of the 8th. And that brings up the top of the order in Michael Ray, as Anderson came in to hit for Chris Coates. Michael Ray so far 1 for 3. Ray's been manning shortstop all day. I've seen him there for the most part on this game so far, and the rain continues here at OCC Stadium. First pitch is fouled back, counts 0-1. So the rain has continued, but since now the Flames have a lead, play would end should another rain cancellation ensue. It would not be postponed. 0-1 pitch is driven down the right field line, foul just past the Flames bullpen, and Ray behind in the count 0-2. More than 4.5 with the lead is a complete game. However, when we last went to rain delay, it was a tie ball game, so if the game ended up getting canceled for today, we would have resumed play another time and finished this game out before starting another one, as the 0-2 is popped up, skied into right field. That gets into the outfield, and making the catch is Adam Gordon for the second out. So 2-away here in the bottom of the 8th. That brings up Xander Ferlenda. But we've seen a lot of pinch hitters. Let's see if there's another one. Nope, he will come up to the plate himself after talking with his head coach. Ferlenda 0 for 2 on the night. A strikeout back in the first, a pop out to third back in the 4th, and a walk back in the 6th. First pitch from Flahive, fastball missing inside. Ferlenda able to duck out of the way of that one, counts 1-0. Ferlenda trying to get a base runner on here with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th, trailing 2-1. That's going to get ripped into left field and drop in front of Colin Matthews for a base hit. So a 2-out base runner for the Syracuse Sulcats. And now that'll bring up the meat of the order, Sean Lawler coming up to bat. Only the second hit that Flahive's allowed in his 3 innings of work. And he now has to work out with a 2-out base runner. And Lawler so far only 6 RBIs on the season, but a very consistent hitter, 383 entering today. Crowding the play here from the left side. That pitch is driven into the left side, but foul over near the Sulcats bullpen. And he's behind the count 0-1. Ferlenda, a threat on first base, 4 for 5 on stolen base attempts this season. So it's a lefty-lefty matchup right here. Flahive looks over to first. The pitch. Fastball catches the outside corner, and Sean Lawler in an 0-2 hole here as Keon Taylor looks to get ready to warm up in the Flames bullpen, likely to close it out in the ninth. Flae Hive with an 0-2 count, he deals. Fastball just misses low and outside. And a 1-2 count here, 2 away in the bottom of the 8th inning. Flames working on a 2-1 lead, but the Saltcats have a runner on first and their best hitter on the ball club in the batter's box. Fly Hive gets into the strikes, looks over to first, keeps him close. The pitch is chopped down the first base line, but ends up in foul territory. And the count stays at 1-2. My broadcast partner, Morgan Chapman, wanted me to say something in particular about the first base coach in his attempt to use his hands to catch that one, but I'm not going to dignify him by saying it. I will say it after we get off the air because it is age appropriate. Don't worry. The 1-2 pitch is a curveball, misses outside. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You may have heard the term a lot so far this season, referring to coaches catching the balls in the coach's box down the baselines on fouls. But it's not my term. Not a fan. 2-2 is cut on and missed. Flae Hive pulls the string, and Lawler gets caught out in front. And that retires the side heading to the 9th inning. The Flames have a 2-1 lead here at OCC Stadium.
Hello and welcome back to Onondaga Community College. The top of the 9th inning, here we are. So Mother Nature had postponed this matchup just for a little bit, but as the rain continues to fall, we're going to continue this ball game. We only have the top of the 9th and the bottom of the 9th. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross to bring you through the end of this ball game. Your Onondaga Flames lead the Saltcats 2-1. Zach Kemp still on the mound for the Saltcats, and the first pitch to Jake Surratt is in there for a ball. So Jake Surratt not having the best day, Brandon. 3 straight strikeouts, and he's 0 for 3.
Certainly not off to a great start. Surratt looked to be picking up his batting average in the last few games after starting out rough, but now falling into another hole.
This pitch missing low, and the count quickly goes to 3-0. Zach Kemp looking like he's losing just a little bit of grip on that fastball. 3 balls, no strikes, right down the middle, and it's in there for strike 1. So Jake Surratt doing what any batter would do in this situation, laying off that pitch, trying to draw a walk, but Kemp is able to find the strike zone. Here's the 3-1 from Kemp, missing high, and there it is. So Jake Surratt leads off the top of the 9th inning with a walk.
And you're up by 1 run, but any runs you can get here in the top half to add to the cushion is ever the more helpful to this Flames ball club.
You better be safe than sorry as Nurs goes out to the mound to talk to Zach Kemp, and Trace Peterson digs his spikes into the batter's box, getting some direction from head coach Mike Cordero. But Peterson having a pretty okay afternoon, Eric, or Brandon, I should say. I thought of Eric because of the last inning and what we were talking about as we were just texting Eric about something that happened on the field, but Trace is 1 for 1 on the afternoon. Breaking ball, not going to break far enough, and it's going to miss the zone for ball 1. So Peterson is 1 for 1. I am with Brandon Ross, not Eric Moon, by the way. Eric decided to take the afternoon off on us. Had better things to do, I suppose. But 1-0 is the count.
As Eric would say, he's on assignment.
Yes, sir. That one missing low, and the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Zach Kemp starting to struggle, and this is not the time you want to struggle because they're already down 2-1, and they can't really surrender any more runs to the Flames team. This pitch in there for strike 1, count goes to 2-1, and Flames, well, they have someone named Keon Taylor warming up in the bullpen, and Keon Taylor has been a terrific closer for this team all season long. He really knows how to come in. His mentality is to go straight to work, and that's usually what he does. 2-1, check back to first base, not in time to pick off Jake Surratt, the catcher, out of Canisius.
Going back to Keon Taylor, he has one blowed save, and he ended up with the win that day. So very resilient on the mound.
Sure is. This one cut on. This could be trouble, and it will be. Bouncing down for a base knock, and Jake Surratt advances to second. Trace Peterson with a single. There are no outs here in the top of the 9th inning, and we're going to go back to the top of the order. Jack Cherno, steady Eddie, as Eric would say, who has been decently steady this afternoon. He's 0 for 1 because he's reached on a walk twice, and he also reached on a fielder's choice, but he has scored one of the 2 runs, thanks to Adam Gordon, who has 2 RBIs on the afternoon. Runner on first is Trace Peterson, who's pinched run now for, it looks like Reed Gibbs, number 27, is going to get some playing time in this ball game. He's going to come in the pinch run. Just so many middle infielders for this team. It's hard to get playing time for some of these guys that are just on the outside of the rotation. Player like Reed Gibbs. But he's going to get some playing time this afternoon. Jack Cherno squares the bunt, pulls it back in time, but either way it was a strike, and Ners is going to call time and go out to the mound to talk to his pitcher. As the conference continues.
You talk about that crowded middle infield, but Clayton O'Connor coming in doesn't make that any easier for a guy like Reed Gibbs. He hasn't seen a lot of playing time so far, and it's unlikely he'll get any more playing time in the future. He's only started once or twice so far this season, usually coming in as a pinch hitter or a pinch runner, coming in late in ball games.
And his best game was probably at Cortland when he ripped that down the left field line that cleared the bases. The base clearing triple from Reed Gibbs, but he's playing his role this afternoon. He's going to be a pinch runner at first base. The 0-1. Cherno squares the bunt, can't get it down in fair territory, and now he's in an 0-2 situation. But Jack Cherno, perfect situation for him to bunt because he's a guy that has all the potential in the world to beat out a bunt. He's one of the fastest guys in this team, and when you have Jack Cherno and Adam Gordon back-to-back in your lineup, it's a whole lot of speed in a short amount of time. Ners going back to the mound to talk to Zach Kemp, and I mean, Brandon, this is the 3rd or 4th mound visit we've seen so far. Kemp cannot lose it here.
Kemp, in the first game he played the Onondaga Flames, he struggled. He's falling into the same patterns today.
He certainly is. Coming on, trying to preserve this game, but is unable to do so far as Flames are taking advantage of Kemp's pitching. But he has a chance to strike out Jack Cherno here. 0-2 is the count. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Swung on and missed for the first strikeout victim of the inning. The first out will be a strikeout, Jack Cherno. Up to bat next for the Onondaga Flames, number 22, Adam Gordon, the right fielder this evening. Runners on first and second with one away here. Flames lead 2-1 at the top of the 9th inning.
You know, the crazy thing is we had a very long late delay, but we may still finish this game just barely over time, just hitting the 3-hour mark in the top of the 9th.
And I think that's just speaks to how quick this game was going early on. But either way, Zach Kemp gets the sign from Ners, checks on Peterson at second, delivers the first pitch in there for strike 1 against Adam Gordon. Adam Gordon, who is 2 for 4 on the evening. Couple of runs batted in.
All the runs batted in for Adam Gordon.
Couple, all of them. Either way, he's the reason why the Flames have the lead right now for the most part. The RBIs adding up for Adam Gordon. This one cut on down the right field line, foul. And the count goes to 0-2. Runners on first and second. Reed Gibbs on first. Jake Zarat on second base. Flames trying to add a couple more runs to secure the victory. Hopefully, if Keon Taylor can do his job to come in and close. 0-2 count here on Adam Gordon with one away here in the top of the ninth. Here's the 0-2. Cut on down the left field line this time. Foul. But Adam Gordon, I mean, if Eric wants to call Jack Cherno Steady Eddie, you got to say a different name for Adam Gordon because both of those guys have been very consistent. Adam Gordon's been here since the start of the season, and, man, every single game you can count on him to get a couple hits. Oh, 2 count with one away. Adam Gordon taking his time, as he always does, before he gets set. And at this point, Zach Kemp just needs to start throwing strikes, as he has been doing as of late. 0-2. Here it is. Missing high for the first ball of this at-bat. Count goes to 1-2 on Adam Gordon. But Jake Zarat finally getting on base in this ball game. He drew a walk. Then Trace Peterson followed it up with a single. Then coming in the pinch run is Reed Gibbs, first base. 1 ball, 2 strikes with one away here in the top of the ninth inning. Zach Kemp delivers the 1-2. Cut on, popped up. Should be easy pickings out there. It's Chris Coates who's going to be there. Jake Zarat thought about tagging up, but made the business decision to stay put at second base. And they're 2 away, bringing up Mike Netzel. Netzel hasn't had the best day so far. He's 0 for 3, but did draw a walk in his last plate appearance. Was stranded on base. So runners on first and second with 2 away here in the top of the ninth. This one right down the middle, a breaking ball. Beautiful pitch there from Zach Kemp for strike 1. Mike Netzel hasn't had the best 7-day stretch for sure, but he can make up for it right here. There's one cut on and missed for strike 2, and quickly down 0-2 in the count. Zach Kemp could get out of the situation with another pitch. But Mike Netzel, if he could drive in a run, would definitely make up for the last couple of days of hitting. He's been in that slump. The 0-2, right down the middle, but high. Fastball missing the zone. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, and 2 away. Here it is. Missing high again and to the outside. Count goes to 2-2 now for Mike Netzel. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 away here. Here's the 2-2. Cut on. This could be down for trouble, and it will be. Here comes Jake Zarat. Jake Zarat rounding third base. Coming home, standing up. Mike Netzel going to second. He's tagged. Out. But the run will score. So Jake Zarat's going to come around to score a run, and the Flames will go up 3-1 going into the bottom of the ninth. We're going to step aside and give you the final inning, final half inning, I should say, right here on Team Line. Welcome back to the Onondaga Flames live stream right here on Team Line. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross, and the Flames are half an inning away from picking up the victory here over the Saltcats. As Keon Taylor comes on the pitch, and looks like another change has been made. The first baseman looks like that's Mike Stefan out at first base, so the home plate umpire waving up to us to signal that. I probably wouldn't have been able to catch it until the play was made at first, but shout out to him for signaling to us. And Keon Taylor is going to come on to close. Let's see what he has in store for us this afternoon. Keon has been a very consistent closer, someone Mike Cordero can go to when the Flames need him most. That first pitch is a little bit wild, though, as it just misses the zone, almost tagging Drew Patterson, the batter.
Patterson 1 for 3 on the day. We originally had him as 0 for 3, but we apparently got clarity that when he grounded one back to Netzel and it went off his wrist, that was ruled a hit.
That pitch missing outside. 2-0 is the count.
In our mind, it looked pretty obviously an error, but we're talking to the other PA guy. It seems like this coach likes to help his players out a little bit.
That pitch missing outside again, 3-0. But yeah, exactly. It's kind of some of these plays, Brandon. We can all talk about it numerous times, but I think everyone has their own opinion on some of these plays, and that one just wasn't our best judgment, I suppose. 3-0 in there, but it's missing. So leadoff walk for Drew Patterson. Flames still lead 3-1. Bringing up Patrick Miner, the designated hitter this evening. He's 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Had a soft ground out to Brian Hart, his last plate appearance. Keon Taylor, Jake Surratt. Jake Surratt has had a terrific game behind the plate, maybe not so much at the offensive side. First pitch from Taylor in there for strike 1. And going back to first to check on Patterson, but he's back in time as he didn't really have a heck of a lead. Looks like a half a step, perhaps even less. The 0-1 in there for a strike, and now Keon Taylor has Patrick Miner right where he wants him. In the 0-2 count, has a couple of pitches to work with as well. Going back to first to check on Drew Patterson, not in time once again, is Keon Taylor.
Seems like everyone's wanting this game to end. The rain's really starting to come down now, but so little time left in the game, they're just going to want to finish this one out.
Absolutely. And Keon is doing his best to have a good grip on the ball as he shakes off a couple of pitches, delivers. Miner's going to foul it off the end of his bat, and will do it again. But, Brandon, this one's actually
looks like it's going to get called catcher's interference, and Patrick Miner's going to get awarded first base.
And the pitching coach, Robert Anders, is going to go out to have a mound visit. That's the second time a catcher's interference call has hurt the Flames in this ball game.
Well, the first time it was a batter's interference call, but interference calls typically have not gone the Flames' way so far today. And there isn't anyone up in the bullpen, so this is probably just a composure visit. Make sure Keon Taylor is mentally sound up there on the mound, because there's no one warming up in the Flames' bullpen, and in fact, the mounds in the bullpen are covered by tarp.
Well, I think this mound visit right now, Brandon, is to kill the momentum, because that's exactly what you want to do in this situation. The Saltcats are starting to have a little bit of momentum here. Robert Anders says, no, we're going to shut it down immediately, call a timeout, let Keon Taylor regroup, get his mind right, because up the bat next is Taylor Fajardo, and this guy should be an easy strikeout victim, to say the least, from Keon Taylor. Not to knock Fajardo's ability, I should say, but he's 0 for 3. He has 2 strikeouts, and this guy, if you throw anything close to the strike zone, he's swinging for the fence. So if Keon Taylor can just work with him, Mike Netzel did a nice job, and so did Jimmy Flahive of taking him down on strikeouts. Runners on first and second with no away. This one outside, and Fajardo is going to lay off, surprisingly, on the first pitch, but 2 runners on base for the Saltcats. Patrick Miner represents the game-tying run here in the bottom of the 9th. Keon Taylor. Breaking ball that does not break all the way and missing the zone. Count goes to 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes with no outs. Runners on first and second. Flames lead 3-1 here in the bottom of the 9th. 2-0. Cut on down the right field line, but foul. Count goes to 2-1. Flames have only had one winning streak so far this season as Keon Taylor steps off the bag. It was a 4-game winning streak, and then they won against the Cheryl Silversmiths on Friday. Then yesterday, a heartbreaker as the Syracuse Spartans walk it off on a wild pitch to win 8-7. So trying to bounce back here as that pitch misses outside. Count goes to 3-1. And Brandon, you have to wonder if the rain is playing a factor on the grip that Keon Taylor has on the ball.
It very much so. You have to rely on your ability to throw those breaking pitches if you're a sidearmer like Keon is. And if he can't cause those pitches to break the way he wants to, that's going to be a huge problem for him on the mound.
Sure is. Here's the 3-1, and it's going to miss. So bases loaded. Flames have been in this position way too many times, especially yesterday being the most recent one, where they surrendered the win. They could walk it off here if they could unclear the bases. The Saltcats, that is, here in the bottom of the ninth. Matthew Ners, the catcher, coming up to bat here. Flames still lead 3-1. Runners all over the bases. Bases are loaded up. Ners is 1 for 1 on the afternoon so far.
Actually, 1 for 2.
1 for 2,
Second
sorry.
time up a fielder's choice.
Right, 1 for 2, excuse me. This one right down the middle, though, for strike 1. Nice bounce back pitch from Keon Taylor. Just got to get one out at a time at this point. And like Brandon said, there's no one warming up in the bullpen, so this game's all on the shoulders of Keon Taylor to finish it. 0-1, Matthew Ners digs his cleats into the batter's box. This one going to get past Surratt and score a run. Saltcats chipping back into this ball game as Drew Patterson's going to come around to score a run from third. And now the Flames' lead is only 3-2.
That's a awful wild pitch there by Keon Taylor, and now a base hit could win the ball game for the Saltcats.
It sure could, and not the position the Flames wanted to be in. Rain looks like it's completely stopped, so that cannot be the issue. But if the ball bounces anywhere on the turf, it's going to get wet. Keon Taylor just needs to maintain his composure out on the mound.
And now you don't have the double play option.
Yeah. With no outs here, runners on second and third. Keon Taylor trying to deliver a nice ball to Matthew Ners. He does, but it's going to miss the zone, and count goes to 2-1 on Matthew Ners.
Keon's laboring out there. His environment is not helping him. He probably still has wet fingers that are contributing to his inability to get those breaking pitches to work.
And there it is, another example of that breaking pitch not breaking all the way as it misses again. 3 balls, 1 strike. And Keon Taylor is about to walk the bases loaded here.
I think there is a silver lining to if he does. You'd have the bases loaded, force out any base situation as opposed to right now.
3-1. In there for a strike, and now he's got back into a full count. So Matthew Ners is definitely going to have to take a crack at anything close. 3 balls, 2 strikes with no outs. Runners on third. Actually, the runner on third is going to be Patrick Miner, who represents the game-tying run. This one, right down the middle, cut on and missed. Strikeout victim is Matthew Ners. Keon Taylor gets his first out himself with a strikeout, bringing up Christian Nakari.
Hey, just that 1 out can help turn things around out there on the mound for Taylor. If he can carry that momentum, he can get out of this inning and give the Flames the win. But he's still got 2 runners in scoring position with only 1 out.
And how about McLean O'Connor going out there to talk to Keon Taylor? You have to love to see that. Just flew in today as team owner Wayne Walker came up to talk to Brandon and I, and looks like they're going to actually load up the bases. Intentional walk time. As Jake Surratt comes out of the box, there's ball 1, so I guess we can tell this story through it. Wayne Walker said he just picked up O'Connor from the airport this morning and had breakfast with him. Had a nice conversation with him as well. That's where he learned all those bits of information as second ball is thrown.
Time from landing at the airport to playing in today's game, 6 hours.
And, I mean, he's actually had a pretty decent debut. He had the base hit to lead things off. Didn't get any more hits in the game, but still not a terrible debut, especially from a guy who's been at school and then at a wedding and now here today. Can't ask for much more from him.
Last time we saw an intentional walk in a ball game, I was talking to Eric about this. We were wondering, we had thought that the rules had changed so you could just wave a runner to first and you didn't have to throw the 4 pitches. We thought that was the new rule, but instead, that's not the case anymore, so they have to throw all 4 pitches, and now the bases are loaded here.
Well, how about this, Brandon? Christian Anderson's going to come in again. He was brought in the 8th inning to pinch hit. He's coming back in. Bases loaded for Christian Anderson. This guy could win the ball game as Keon Taylor steps off to talk to A.J. DiFilippo, perhaps to talk some strategy. Is the suicide squeeze on here to tie the game? There's only one down. Is it a possibility?
You can never discount anything with any team in the NYCBL, and you can obviously never discount small ball. We've seen it so much. The bunt is such a crucial part of all these teams' strategies.
It sure is, and I know one guy out of this broadcasting crew would love to see this game is Eric Moon, who's a big fan of the small ball. But here we go. One down. Christian Anderson isn't going to square the bunt, and Keon Taylor simply just misses the zone for ball 1. But again, if Keon Taylor walks another batter, it's going to draw in a run. So have to be very careful here if you're Keon Taylor. 1-0 with 1 away, bases loaded here in the bottom of the 9th. Taylor inside, almost tagging Anderson. Just misses him. Now the count goes to 2-1, 2-0, I should say.
No more room for error left here for Keon Taylor. A walk ties the ball game.
And this game doesn't really want to go into extra innings as we had the rain delay and all kinds of delays in between. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike, and now the count goes to 2-1. So, again, Keon Taylor could take care of business himself. He struck out Matthew Nurse in position to perhaps strike out Christian Anderson. But here we go. 2 balls, 1 strike with 1 away in the bottom of the 9th. Flames lead 3-2, but bases loaded. This one cut on right back towards Taylor, and it could be 2. Here's on the first, and it is the double play. Look at that, and Keon Taylor shimmying away as a beautiful double play to end the ball game. Flames are going to rush onto the field. How about that for a Sunday afternoon baseball game? Flames get into a jam, but get out of it with the double play. Beautiful play by the Flames. And now we're going to shift into the Onondaga Flames post-game show. I'm Morgan Chapman alongside Brandon Ross. And Brandon, take us through that last play.
Well, that last play, it just cut past Keon Taylor on the mound, but great defense by McLean O'Connor, able to grab that one at short and turn the quick 2 with Brian Hart and the throw over to Mike Stefan to finish it all off. Keon Taylor went through this last inning totally by himself in a complete confidence mode. He's been that way all day. The man is so confident. He was wearing sunglasses in the rain. Let me tell you, he was confident and cold as could be. He was ready to play, and even when the time was tough, he was ready for the challenge.
Well, Brandon, we're in Syracuse, so I guess it just does it justice to talk about Cardiac Cuse in the same way for the Onondaga Flames, as they just had us on the edge of the seats the whole game, especially right till the end, but we're able to get out of that jam. And can you talk about the resilience of this team? I mean, they've worked through so many situations where they've been in so many close games and have been on the losing side of it. Today, they find themselves on the winning side.
Well, in the end, you just have to keep the same approach. If you don't change your strategy, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some. But as long as it works out in the long run for you, if you win those close games, that's what makes the difference in these standings. The Flames now fighting for that second place spot in this in the Eastern Division. If they want to maintain their standing, they have to win out these close games. And if they keep their approach like they kept tonight, they're going to win a lot more of those than they lose.
All right, I think that's going to do it here from Onondaga Community College. Again, the final, the Onondaga Flames defeat the Syracuse Saltcats 3-2. For Brandon Ross, I'm Morgan Chapman. Have a great night, everybody.